Now you're changing it. I'm just telling you that he was an exception.
You're bringing up.
Oh man, we recording. Come on. We recording.
Use your mic. Go ahead, man. Get your mic. Yeah, I'm in. I'm listening. Go ahead.
I just feel like this. With the way he's standing, it sounds like the typical narrative of
Chauvinist.
Period.
No, it's not being chauvinistic.
You don't think so?
All right, so say your daughter wanted to go to MMA.
Uh-huh.
Would you, and she wants to be MMA, you would be okay with her fighting a transgender?
I wouldn't be okay with her participating in that at all. I don't believe in those sports anymore.
Don't take away from the question though. Like,
if I don't believe in it, no, I don't support it.
Right. But I think he's asking the question based off of capability.
If my daughter was good, yeah.
Like if he, you know what I'm saying? Like I think he's asking for that reason. He's not asking about.
If my daughter was MMA fighter, I would not be bothered. That's something she's got to. If she feels like she can do it, go for it.
But do you feel she could compete? I think that's what he's
with a transgender.
But my opinion don't really matter. Yeah, with the transgender.
So a man who changed sex to a woman. Now you're looking at a full-grown man. In there throwing fists on your daughter.
You're not saying anything to change my mind.
Put your mic up. I want to hear it.
No, I'm just saying you're not saying anything to change my mind on that aspect.
Well, then that's your opinion.
Because you know what? I feel like this.
But you keep bringing up.
Wait, I haven't heard the proof. I haven't heard the proof though. I haven't heard the proof. You was going into
I said the proof much sooner.
Hang on, y'all having the conversation.
I'm talking about the physiology of men versus women.
Right, hang on. So y'all having the conversation, but I don't want y'all to lose focus. You was making a point about your background, your expertise, what you've studied, and how that knowledge translate into why you know why your answer, your feeling, your thoughts on this are correct. Expound on that because you didn't. You just gave us the list of what your transcript says.
No,
right?
I said this earlier before we started putting the cameras.
Okay, well, I didn't hear that because I was setting up. So I want to.
This is what I said in the very beginning.
Right.
All right. When you look at men and women from a physicality standpoint.
Right.
All right. Males develop bone structure and muscle structure and content at a faster and a much more stronger rate than women do. Okay? Now, it doesn't matter at what point you start to train a guy up. All right? When we operate on a day-to-day, you worked out. You realize you only use at the maximum a third of your muscle content when you're working out. During, lifting weights and stuff, right? It's the same for women. But your third is a lot more than her third. Okay? If you're not working out, just on an average, you're using about a third of your normal muscle content just to get through your day.
Get to your mic. All
right.
I want this to come in.
If you get into a combative situation, your body, with the coupling of adrenaline and testosterone, it will increase the amount of muscle that you use in a combative situation. Now you go from using third to over 60%, sometimes 70, 80%, depending on where the amount of adrenaline is coming from, where the amount of whatever mind state you're in is pushing the amount of adrenaline through your body. All right, increase heart rate, increase strength, increase everything. Women will never have that naturally. They can get to those same levels of.
So what kind of woman though? Because there are women that have testosterone that you don't count because they dress like a woman.
What are you talking about? I'm not talking about their dressing. I'm not talking
about. No, I'm trying to give you an idea.
Nobody dressing. I'm talking about physicality.
See, you know what? You're distracted. You're distracted because
you're not distracted.
You're not listening to me because I know what I did. I know how to talk to you now.
Wait, hold on. I know what you did. You gave an example, and your example went into the physical appearance of instead of maybe the mind state versus.
Correct. And I was just.
So what?
He's talking about. Hang on. They're in a dress.
Right. Okay, so what he's saying is if you see, for example, a Serena Williams, right? And you see a Serena Williams wearing a ballroom gown, right? Like that's what you was getting at, right? Up underneath that gown it's motherfucking Serena
beast.
Williams.
Oh, effing beast.
It's motherfucking
And
Serena
she
Williams.
can beat up a bunch
But-
of men, I tell you that.
Right, but he was just saying that you're looking at the aesthetics and you're saying, oh, that's just a woman in a dress. She won't have the muscle capacity. I don't know the bone density. I don't know all the terminology.
I'm not gonna sit here and say
but-
if Serena got into it with John out in the street,
Right.
or me now out in the street,
I might have to find another co-host.
okay.
Well, she and I gonna get to know each other. I ain't fighting her.
I wouldn't either,
we
but
gonna come in
that's
and
for
be like,
other reasons. but no, you can take and I've seen this. All right, the most. I don't even know how to.
Look,
the smallest, frailest dude
look, my
out
thing,
there
my thing
can
is this.
generate so much force to do damage against somebody if provoked, if in a state of rage and in that state where they're heightened the levels of adrenaline, even with a minimal or a.
Let me ask you a question, kind of based on science, right? Like, okay, so a couple questions. Is it possible for a human to be born and have both a penis and a vagina?
Yes.
Okay.
They're known as hermaphrodites?
It's
Yes.
hermaphrodites, right? Now, have anybody in this room ever been out and about and seen?
Be able to recognize one.
Well, not necessarily that, but like even when we were younger, you saw a little boy or a little girl, and based off the way that they were built, even a grown man, some people might make a statement and say, "Oh, they built like a woman."
Easy.
Oh, damn, she built like a man, right? Now, what I think that he's saying, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not trying to speak in your, right? So, but I think that what he's saying is when he calls you, what do you say, old school, old thinking, right?
Yeah, old man thinking.
Old man
traditional,
thinking.
like what I grew up on is right.
Okay, so when he says like the old man thinking, what I think he's talking about is you seeing this little boy or this grown man or this teenager, and you might make an off-color comment saying he is built like a girl, he's shaped like a girl, and you might look at a woman and say, damn, she built like a man, she big like a man, right? So that's not science. That's just your eyes looking, right? Okay. So when we look at the physical appearance of someone, there is an assumed capability. If I went to the gym for the last 2 weeks and I came in flexing, wearing an extra large shirt and my chest is popping out and somebody saw me, they might assume I'm fucking them up on sight if they do something that I'm feeling is disrespectful. But if I'm small and I'm frail and I haven't been to the gym in over 5 years, right? There's no muscle in sight. They're probably going to look at the person and say these words, I can take him, right? So he's saying that maybe you were looking at people in the old man saying, but the truth is there are women who have a build that resembles what we look like as in what's found on a man.
You agree?
I agree.
You agree? Then
that's what he's saying. It is true that there are going to be women out there that can fuck us up. There are going to be men out there that, you know what I'm saying, they will overpower anyone at any given time. But the fact that we go back to my first question, like we can be born with both the penis and a vagina, right? You can be born with a penis and have tendencies that may favor what we put as a stereotype for women or for men or whatever the case is. And that comes from birth. So why would that not translate or pass over to the physical capability, the muscle density, the capacity or ability to gain these things in athletic capabilities as an individual? If it can come all the way down to a physical sexual organ, what do you think is happening behind the curtain? Is that not possible? Is it not possible that a woman is born? There's a woman out there that can fuck you up on sight.
Easy.
I don't know who she is, and I'm not going to go search for her because I appreciate you coming and being a part of this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to spend time in a hospital in Abu Dhabi or Dubai. Right? I'm not trying to come and visit you. So I don't know who she is, but there is a woman out there that can fuck you up on sight. And she probably got no training whatsoever. There are some people that are naturally physically gifted. There just are.
I'm not saying there aren't.
Right, but you're saying that the training of someone. So let's take these two.
We were talking about training. Like we were talking about training.
Right. So there are some people.
The question was, if there's a woman out there who trains to race,
right,
to compete in racing,
right,
can you train a man up to beat her?
And you said yes.
Yes, you
I'm
can.
saying that not always. I have trained people. I am a certified, since 2003, I am a certified personal trainer. There are some people that I have trained and they had smaller arms and they're like, I want to get biceps like you. I want my chest to pop like yours. He's just not built for that.
You recognize body types then, right?
But what I'm saying,
Okay.
but what I'm saying is that person, no matter how much training he did, he was not going to be able to get to, and I'm not the biggest dude in the world, but he was not going to be able to get to the point where I was, no matter how much training was there.
But that's going
He got
against you.
No, that's not
Where
going.
you are.
Right, but I'm saying even looking at him, he's still not going to look intimidating physically. He's not getting to where he wants to be. He's comparing it to me. He's saying because he's seeing me.
You compared it to you.
No,
When you said he can't get to the level you were
because
at.
that's what he asked for.
Right,
And
but-
what I'm saying is that his body type is not set for that. Even if you look down to men, like the way that
Now.
our chest is,
Now.
some people got a high and tight chest with their breasts. Some people got a bigger. I used to look at dudes and be like, damn, I want my chest, but my chest isn't shaped like that. Even if it was cut down to the slimmest, and you look at it, mine is a high and tight chest. It's always gonna look like that. Some people's body type just ain't meant for it, man. I believe that a woman can handle a man.
I'm not saying they
And I'm not saying just because a man is a man, if he trained, that he can beat anyone. He can get to that. Some people just, their body ain't ready for that.
Okay, so my point is this, and this was the original point that was being made. You're competing boys versus girls in girl performance races. Right. Is that fair to the girl? That's my question.
I said
that's what it. That's
yeah,
my
and
only-
I still
what my
stand.
whole thing.
I feel like as we get as time goes on, more information is going to come out where you're going to see that the WNBA players, hey, don't trip, brother.
no.
Look, check
Matter
this
of
out.
fact,
These
let me
are
go
some
to-
big
let me go to-
specimens of people.
Let me go to the Olympics. A few Olympics back, there was a young.
Yeah, I know who you're
woman
talking about from South Africa.
Was it South Africa or she was somewhere in middle Africa? I can't
Well,
remember.
it's same content.
You might.
She competed in a woman's race and she dominated it. And everybody was like, damn, well, we got a new super athlete on the woman's level. And then they tested her chromosome level. All right, they tested her, found her in her genetics, she was XY. She was born a man. All right, or she kicked a Y chromosome out.
She was labeled as a man.
Okay, whatever. She was born a man. She was born
Labeled.
male. She was born male.
She was labeled as a male.
Okay, fine. She was born XY.
Yeah.
Now, we'll go there. Just keep it on genetics. She was born XY. Right. They removed her medal, removed her whole thing from the Olympics because she was not supposed to compete in an XY event. I mean, she was set to compete in the XX event, not an XY event. Okay? Mm-hmm. Why did they do that?
Because they don't have enough information to justify why that's okay. I'm telling. Look, check this out. 20 years ago, we weren't even talking about this.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. We'll get it. Yeah, we'll get it. It's
yeah, I'm tightening it up.
I get it. You gotta do it a different way. You gotta start from the bottom and go up. But it's cool. It's cool. Hang on. So let me ask you a question. Let's say Jennifer Lopez walked in here right now. Do we agree that she's an attractive woman? Right? Okay, Jennifer Lopez walked in right now, and you a single man, and she asked you to go out on a date. A year into dating, whatever happens, you find out that she's XY. Now what? This judgment was made off of how that person looked. She looked like a woman, didn't she? This runner from Africa.
She definitely.
Well, I don't know what country in Africa, but
yeah.
But okay, but she looked like a woman. I don't know who you're talking about. I've never seen her, but I'm saying just hearing what y'all said, it sounds like it's based off of how she looks, right? And so the way that she looked, nobody would have thought. They probably thought she had a stereotypical look like a male person, right? She's kind of burly or whatever the case is, right? Okay, she's got this look to her, but they looked at her like, yo, it's a woman. But to find out later it was XY, then it's like, oh nah, you can't have this award. You can't have this. This is not gonna work. But if you got someone where you're convinced that's where this is coming from, and that's what he's saying.
She
where
didn't get,
but that's what he's saying about not having enough information.
Okay, no.
Maybe we
But
don't.
He also said that we weren't having this conversation 20 some years ago.
Oh, that's a distraction, right, brother? Why do you do that?
I'm about to give you an example.
You went to the 20 years ago. That means nothing right now.
It
I messed
really
up.
does. It
No,
really
I'm
does.
saying.
Let me make my point.
Go for it.
Over 20 years ago, Maria Matola, African, I think she was Nigerian, something, very dark skinned, built like a dude, stone chiseled face, dominating 800 meters. Everybody kept talking about, yo, this is not a woman, that's a man running. This is not a woman, that's a man woman. The same way they talk about Serena, oh, that's a man, that's a boy, that was a man. Or Venus, those are boys, those not girls, because of the way they're built.
Correct.
All right? All women.
Are they?
All women.
Are you sure? Because to me,
XX chromosomes.
so that's what determines a woman? That's what determines that you can have a baby. You can't put all of these characteristics because they narrated that women should be like this. XX means you can have a baby. Can we agree with that?
Okay.
XX means you're capable of having a baby.
Okay. So
That-
those that are capable of having a baby competing against those that are not.
No. All of them are having a baby. What are you talking about? These women can have babies.
I don't know. I'm talking about XX that can have babies competing against XY that can't. Show me a tranny that can have a baby. A transgender that can have a baby, physically have a baby.
I don't know. I don't even know one.
Me either. Because
so
you're
that's
not born with the tools. You're not born with the ability, the capability.
You know what? At this point, I just feel like you're judging your basis off of the same things that I grew up on. And I just feel like more and more we live, more and more information gonna come out, and your mind will eventually change.
I'm like I said, I'm not getting into what a person's mindset is. I'm not getting to what their choices are. I'm
To
not
my body
getting to
type.
what their I'm going solely on the basis of your chromosome.
But why is it not possible for a female to potentially have the same physical capability as a male?
My question is not even that. Is this fair?
I said, yeah.
Okay.
If you live like a woman your whole life and then you find out that you got this chromosome that matches a man, you're like, but I've been a woman my whole life.
But in fairness though, right? Like holding your feet to the fire, that might not have been your question, but that was a part of your explanation. Because you were the one saying,
fair?
But you were the one saying like, oh, but if a man trains, he can get to the point of whatever, and he will supersede whatever training that woman has, regardless, because of the whole 1/3 of the muscle. I forget the terminology you use, right. So I'm not trying to like disrespect your point, but to the potential of right. And you were saying it's 1/3, but my 1/3 is going to be more than her 1/3. But who's to say my 1/3 is not less? But you get what I'm saying? So like, because this piece that you're talking about is a physical aspect based on science. And the whole reason that I brought up the hermaphrodite piece is that is also a physical aspect on humanity, on the way that we are. And I'm saying that if I can be born and look like the way that I do and potentially have a vagina between my legs, what's to say that other pieces of my anatomy are not altered in a way where I resemble the sex that I've not been identified as? You see what I'm saying? But that was based off of the point that you gave, saying about the 1/3 and because there's a lot of mixture going on. I'm sure everyone in this room has walked out and seen a woman and thought that she favored a man. And I'm sure that we've seen men and thought that they favored the way that a woman looks. In fact, and I hope this isn't like politically incorrect, but in fact, we've had situations where you see a guy dressed up as a woman, whether it's cross or drag, they be like, damn, they make a fine, like, hey, I might have been, you know what I'm saying? But why is that? Why is that?
You've never seen a man
you
that
just
was
don't
a woman.
know. You just don't know. You just don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
You just don't know.
But how about this? You could go online right now and look up fine ass men, and they'll show you. Be like, heck no.
Yeah.
And if you saw them in the street, you're not thinking like that's a man. You've been like, damn. And then you find out, you be like, oh man, what's wrong with my head? Because we're attracted to an appearance that we grew up on.
Yeah.
And when you say that I haven't seen anybody like that, you just didn't know.
Haven't.
You have. You just didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, then I didn't know. And
he only knows what he knows. Let's be fair. He only knows what he knows.
Oh, look. There's some attractive like celebrities Like you can look and be like, oh, and you're like, oh, I didn't know that.
And without surgery. I'm just talking about without, like, I'm sure that you've seen people, maybe even went to school with people and was like, you know, she'd make a convincing man. You know what I'm saying? Like so I don't know, man. Like
I've seen really muscular dudes, feminine in them like completely feminine. Because remember I told you there's they created these two things, you're male and female, right? But it doesn't consider your emotions or your strength or anything. No. Listen, in the middle would be a balance. Listen, in the middle, there's a balance, right? So the closer you're in the middle, the more you have both sides, but there's extremes. And I think the way that we learn male and female extremes, that if you're a male, the extreme is that you have to be the female on that end and don't realize that there's a middle portion where there are going to be females that's stronger than men.
And it's based on the knowledge level. Like, think about it, right? Like, we on your side, but on your side to where we want you to just, like, at least for me, I'll speak for myself. I want you to, like, just recognize both sides of it, right? Like, I forgot what I was about to say. But what was I about to say? Oh man, I lost my damn train of thought. Go ahead.
Agreement number 3.
Huh?
Agreement number 3.
Agreement number 3.
Both of you have assumed I don't look at that whole thing. My whole point was the question of, is it fair for this one to compete against this one?
I said yes.
Okay. And that's it. He says it's fair. I don't think it's fair. Right. That was my whole point. I don't think it's fair. You wanted to know my reason why I felt like it's not fair? I gave my reason why. All right. I gave my explanation why. I'm good on that. It does not bother me what anybody does in their own personal life, how they live it, No,
it wasn't about that. That was never a point that was me.
But it has really been thrusted at me.
No,
it really has.
No, that's the way you're taking it.
No,
that wasn't my intention.
No. That's not
that may not be the intention, but that's how it was thrusted at me. That I'm thinking this old fashioned way. No, I'm not. I'm just telling you. This is why I feel about this
partial.
And not even
partial. We said based off the.
I say this.
Hold up. We said old fashioned way based off of the thinking about the physical appearance. Only that aspect. Nothing else. Nothing else.
Now. I wasn't talking about the physical appearance. I'm talking about the physiology. That's what I'm talking about. It has nothing to do with the physical appearance because you can, like you said, you can look this way or that way.
Right.
I'm talking about the physiology underneath
physical appearance. Okay, but that means that you didn't hear
beyond that.
That means that you didn't hear the point. What I was saying was, and we go back and we listen to this. What I was saying was, based off the physical appearance, all I'm saying is just because the physical appearance looks a certain way, if it can be a certain way and be convincing to make us think that man looks like a woman, and that woman looks like a man, I'm saying
that's the part though, bro. I'm not talking about that.
And again, I'm not getting to make the point, so you're not hearing it, you're assuming. You're hearing me to respond. You're not listening to take in the information.
I'm totally listening to take in information.
So I was just making a comparison, right? If we're looking at the physical appearance and we're saying this man looks like a woman and that woman looks like a man, I'm saying if that alone, right, can alter our opinion or our thoughts about it, what else? And I said these exact words. What else is happening behind the curtain? That's what I said. You missed that.
No,
that's what I said. It wasn't about the physical appearance. I'm just saying that if we can see them and it looks like this, what about what we can't see?
If we're assuming this, I can almost guarantee that the woman that's built like a woman, that we could probably train her to beat this man who does not look like a woman.
And with respect to everything that you've studied, you're not a scientist. None of us are. And that aspect comes from the scientific search and research about the physiology of, and those are the ones that put together the textbooks that you studied for your degrees in these different areas. None of us are scientists. And I'm just throwing the hypothetical up there. It's almost like saying, well, if we saw something flying and none of us on Earth built it, it must have came from somewhere. Alien, right? I'm not a scientist. I haven't been outside of the ozone layer, right? I've only been in airplanes, 35,000 feet in the air. That's about it. But my assumption would be, if I can see something that's flying and I know and we feel or know or been told that it hasn't been built by any of us, it probably came from somewhere else. If I can see a woman that looks a certain way, more like a man, my assumption could be there could be more to it. I don't know because I'm not a scientist. I'm just saying that hypothetical is there.
How about this? The women that we see, they just look like women. But on the inside, they have genetic makeup that can compete with other men. But you can't see it because we're already clouded because we have an idea of what a woman looks like. But Gail Devers, for example, let's say if you got Gail Devers and an Indian man, same age, and you put them on a 10-year regimen before Gail Devers became a track athlete at a young age. You're telling me that you could have training both same people, that Indian man was eventually going to beat Gail Devers?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That is so crazy.
I think doesn't that come to the genetic makeup?
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Right? Isn't that what you study though? Like that comes to the genetic makeup.
But look at what he said. You take them both
Right.
under the same conditions,
Right.
and you train them.
Right.
Yes, he would.
Okay, but wait, hold up. I just gave you the example about one person that I trained some years ago that same. I gave him the same plan that I had. I gave him the same diet that I had, but due to his genetic makeup, he was going to progress, but he wasn't going to get what he was aspiring to get to. He did well.
You gave him yours.
I gave him, when I say the same, I gave him the same type of diet for his weight, for his size, for the plan that I had him on, for what he was doing. But it reflected what I was doing to get, and once he hit a different weight, once he hit a different workout plan, right, then we can progress to the next level. It's called progression, right? So it wasn't the exact same, but it was based on that. Okay. You see what I mean? To get him to a certain level. But the thing is, he was due to his genetic makeup, without some extra help, like steroids, he might not have ever gotten to the point that he was aspiring to, which in that example he was like, I want to have biceps and triceps like you. And it was like, all right, let's see what we can do. Nah. But that genetic makeup wasn't allowing that. Nah. And mind you, he was Japanese. So, see what I'm saying? So I'm just saying.
That's why the male and female thing is different.
It is.
Like, I concede.
No, do you understand what we're saying though?
I do.
Okay, like I do understand what you're saying. I just feel like
concede.
I love it.
But you're conceding. But I would like for other people to know, like, man, I used to believe the same way you did too, man. And then I realized that
and there's number 3, the assumption.
No, I'm telling you me. I'm only talking. Believe. Okay. Then my apologies for the way that I'm delivering my message.
So let me ask this: have y'all heard what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what am I talking about?
You said that if male and female, if granted the opportunity to train equally, that regard. Let me tell you what I'm saying.
That was your last question. The last statement you said.
No. Well, let me finish and let him finish. You just asked me, and so. What I gathered from you, you said, regardless of male or female, if you had the opportunity to have them both, that no matter what this woman is built of or what she has inside her, you have the training capabilities to make this man beat this woman regardless of what she has in her. And regardless of what he has, just as long as he's a man and she's a woman, this man is going to beat this woman. That's what I got out of you. Is that what I got out of you?
On a physicality standpoint,
yeah.
Physiology, yeah.
That's crazy to me because if you name a Far East man who may be 5'5", 120 pounds, what are they going to do against 190 pounds, 6'2" woman in basketball? And she's faster than him. What can you do? Play, have fun?
Is that what he does for a living?
No, I'm asking you if you train both of them. Because you know what? If you think about it, there are not, like, how many people are under...
So, all right, now, we're talking about a comparison inside of the U.S.
No, I'm talking the world. I just said Japanese.
Yeah, but see, I'm talking about what...
How are you going to do it? Because you said male and female. Now it's just U.S. male and female? No, I'm asking.
Yeah, that's where...
Okay, so there's no Japanese in America.
That's where the whole argument starts.
There's no Japanese in America, so I can say it's just a Japanese 5'5" or a Chinese 5'5".
In America.
Yeah.
Not coming out of their home country. In America.
Yeah. You saying it's not? Dude, I have cousins that were born in America.
I'm talking about the law that has been put in place or being put out there to be put in place. That distraction that we were talking about. That's how it all came about. As I said in the very beginning, my only issue with it is it fair to put males against females in female sanctioned races or competitions? That was my initial thing.
Right.
All right, because they are allowing transgendered females to compete against natural born females. Is that fair? Is that fair to the females?
See, the natural born thing.
They don't.
Okay, but wait. Let me.
Now,
So wait.
Here's the flip on that, because I never got to the flip side of that coin.
But that part right there, right? So just because a person has gone through, I want to make sure I get terminology right because I don't want to offend nobody. But
no, and I'm not trying to either. I'm talking about hang on.
Let me
male.
Right. Let me get my point right. So what I'm saying is, just because a person has made the life decision to transition from a female to a male.
Male to female.
Okay, all right. Because they made the life decision to transition from a male to a female, right? Even if they did not make that transition, there are still probably some women out there that could have competed with that individual physically. You see what I'm saying? Like that's the part that I was saying. And that hang on. Okay. And that's why I was saying there can be similarities in body type, the anatomy of the people, regardless of the sex that has been assigned to them from birth.
My question is,
but you are saying that it isn't because you're saying that they should not be allowed to compete. And what I'm saying is
fair. I don't believe it's fair. No,
but it could be fair because it's happening. Don't you think that there are some women out there that have an edge on other women? Let's just say women that were, right. And some of those women
look like men.
Thank you. This is the point, and that's a stereotype.
Not refuting that, and I'm not refuting.
So if you agree to that, right? Okay, so like put it in perspective. If there is a woman out there that like I can't think of.
Okay, hang on. Why don't we just have? And then why
not?
This is where we're going with this conversation, and I'm gonna just drop this one.
Well, no, because I ain't get to finish what I was saying.
And then I'm gonna drop what I'm gonna say, and I'm done after that. Go ahead.
Why you gotta be done? It's a conversation. Why you gotta be done?
Because I'm gonna drop what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna be done with it.
Drop the mic on.
Go ahead.
So, no, you are up. You're up.
Virtually drop the mic because these joints is expensive.
This don't dropping itself right now.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Go
ahead. All right. Yeah. Well, no, but I want you to finish your point.
No, go ahead.
No,
that way we can be. Go ahead.
No, because we haven't even gotten to the topic that we were supposed to get into.
Oh, we will. But that's another thing. Go ahead.
Okay, now. All right, so if it's fair for both of you, fine. Let's just eliminate the whole, let's just eliminate all male-female separated competition then.
Let's do it.
Put them all on the same field.
Let's do it. Let's get rid of the East and West Coast. Let's put everybody together. Lakers playing the Hawks every week.
Why aren't we doing that?
Let's do it.
Why aren't we doing that?
We haven't got enough information to make it happen yet.
Right.
It's changing.
It is.
Okay. Then this is the first part of change.
Oh, without a doubt. That's why I say more information come.
Okay.
Because I'm going to tell you this. So, the only reason why women can't compete in the league is because
the rules.
We have in the NBA, there's a different level of strength in comparison to the women he's talking about. But that don't mean that these women are not better than the men that can't compete in this level as far as the strength aspect that you keep referring to. Like the women in the WNBA will beat up a lot of men that don't participate in this.
Would they? All right, let's go to something that Dave Chappelle brought up when he was saying
that was a joke.
Go ahead. No. Let it go. Let it go.
No, what he said was a joke.
Let it go.
Yeah, of course he said it as a joke.
Let it go.
Let's be real.
Let it go.
You take a LeBron James.
Yeah.
He has a sex change. He now plays in the WNBA. Is that fair?
Why would it? Okay. Why would he
do it? First of all,
no. Answer the question. Is it fair?
Well, if you quit, landing airplanes and shit, then I'll answer the question. LeBron James, I'm just saying, would not have a reason to do. Wait, hang on. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Let me finish. He would not have a reason. So I think that's a poor example. Just because,
that was the joke.
I got.
You know what? If I try to use an example like this to make my point,
right?
then it's a joke. Or it's a discredit.
No, it's not even yours. It's Dave Chappelle. It's a
I'm
joke.
crediting Dave Chappelle for it.
Yo, hey,
Why
But
you
I
so
said, let's
sensitive,
look at
brother?
it. I said, look at it as because this is targeted. Let's discredit him.
Wait,
and what he's saying
can I
going on right here?
Listen,
I'm gonna defend my shit. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna passionately defend what I feel, especially under the attack. So guess what?
calm down your passion.
No, my bad. Nah. Yeah, as much as you two, it's my day. This is my time to get into it.
Listen,
You're supposed to be controlling it.
you gave
Pause. Right now, because we ain't even in real session yet. But go ahead.
Pause. So you started off with an example that's a joke. I began. Can I stop? Quit looking. Ain't nothing up there for you. Ain't nothing up there for you. This is the conversation.
Rolling. Why are you worried about what I do?
Okay, so you started off with a hypothetical that was a joke. I began my response with a joke. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I got a real answer for you. Okay. But I'm just saying, I just started off with a joke. So let's not be mad that I started off with a joke when your example was a joke.
Your joke was bad. Okay, let's go to it.
Well, if you got people landing airplanes and shit and mad because they can't get their point across, of course it's gonna sound bad. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't let it out. All I'm saying is there are some women out there that can probably compete with a LeBron James.
I'm not saying there isn't.
So if that was the decision that he made, he may go to a league and still dominate, or he may have some Kevin Durant's against him. He may have some. Give me another. What's old boy's name?
Steph Curry.
No, not Steph Curry. The other forward. No, the other forward.
Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis. Right. He may have some Anthony Davises in that league that are in the in the WNBA. So yeah, that could happen. Right. But we, just as he said, we as a society, we as a scientific nation or whatever, have not gotten to the point to allow such a thing because of the old way of thinking. And I'm not saying that the old way of thinking is wrong. I'm not saying that it's right, but it is a roadblock in the way of progression. So would it be okay? Sure. Why not? Because because you know what that does? That does lean into the whole thing about the way that a person is living their life. Because that's like you saying to LeBron, what is he, 36? Yes. Something like that. That's like you saying to LeBron, man, it's too late. You 36. You should have figured out you was a woman way before now. You done come in and you didn't upset the game. Like the Lakers is never going to be the same now that you left. Now you're going to go play for the Sparks. That's no. So no. But if he did want to make that change, that's on him. Should it be allowed? Competition is competition, bro. Competition is competition.
Okay.
And there are women who can, I bet money, if we was to take the top lineup of the WNBA and the lineup of the NBA, I bet you some people gonna lose they spots of number 13, 14, and 15 on some benches. And that's not to say that the women are going to fill 13, 14, and 15 slots. They might move up. They might be a starting lineup. They might be on the reserve team, the initial reserve team.
I agree.
They might even be a sixth man. Who knows?
I agree.
There's a possibility.
So my question was, or it goes back to my initial question, which y'all answered when I said, is it fair? Would it be fair? And y'all said yes. Y'all agree it's fair. There's no more to talk about then.
Well, see, the reason why it was something more to talk about, because you're extreme. I get the LeBron thing. Like, okay, I'm just going to, like, if LeBron was already a girl and he was dominating and they found out like he was a man, I was like, is he like,
what do you think the repercussions of that scenario would be? If he was born and raised
as a girl,
he was raised as a girl, found out years later he was a man. Mm-hmm. What do you think the repercussions of that?
I don't know. He would have to deal with that, like as a person.
Let's deal with this on a real hypothetical situation where it would a real hypothetical situation where it makes sense in relation to real life. Because in real life, I don't see LeBron James having a sex change and moving to the WNBA. So right. So let's say, for example, it's Dwayne Wade's daughter.
Okay.
Who is now identified as a woman, a girl, right? Because still a teenager, right?
Yeah, young lady.
Has identified as a young lady. Mm-hmm. And this young lady goes on to become a draft in the WNBA, right? Now, this is why I say a real life example. Mm-hmm. Now people look back and be like, Yeah, but she's only good because she was born as a guy and she's got Dwayne Wade's ups and she can move like him and she gets the best trainers in the world because her dad's Dwayne Wade. That's a real world example. Not a LeBron James. I get it was a joke, but that's a real world example of a possibility.
Okay, so my question
But then you
is
say,
that fair?
is it fair? Yes, it's fair.
Okay.
Yes, it's fair.
Let me tell you this.
Okay.
Yes,
I think
yes.
that when babies are born, that we automatically assume that because they have a penis or a vagina that they're gonna like something.
In fact,
I'm definitely not saying that.
In fact,
I'm definitely not saying that.
In fact, we are forced to make them decide because a lot of hermaphrodites don't become hermaphrodites. Why? Because the doctor goes to the parents and say, hey,
Which one you want?
this is what we got going
Yep,
on.
and then wonder
what
which-
you want to do. And by a certain point, which I don't know what it is, I mean, we can check and see, but there's a certain time frame where the parents have to make a decision.
Right.
So a lot of hermaphrodites don't become hermaphrodites because we never learned that that's what they were. But I wonder what the percentage of those types of situations of people hang on,
need some looking into
right, it
some
will.
research
But
on
I
that.
wonder.
That's different.
I wonder what percentage of people, children, babies, were born hermaphrodite. Parents had to make a decision, and
Parents made the wrong decision.
right, and then they end up being gay.
Because we're selecting we're selecting their sex too early.
Right.
That's the
right,
reason why it makes me mad when
right.
people like, how they gonna let Dwayne Wade's son become a girl at 12? I was like, wasn't you trying to have sex at 12? You knew what you liked at 12. What's the difference with this one? And it was like, well, what happens if he want to change? Then he wants to change. That's the decision of Dwayne Wade's daughter.
Right.
Like, if she felt like she was wrong.
And I agree with you there.
Yeah.
I don't find any problem with that. My question is about competition.
Yeah, I still feel the same.
And that was my whole thing. Competition. I'm not,
I think as we get older, we'll get more examples to come out. You'd be like, wow, they were really hiding. Because who wants that hell from people? Like, if I told you right now, like, yeah, I've always felt like a woman, but I got so much attention as a dude, I just stayed like this.
Let me give a flip on this. What if I'm wondering how the black community would view this if it were a black person, a black man that transitioned to a woman and then tried to pursue a career. I'm not even going to say athletes, but a physical career. And then they were denied that opportunity.
What career though?
A physical one. One, let's just say that they're trying to go into an element of careers where it's majority men or only men. So it doesn't even matter which one, but there's usually just men there. Right? Say like the NBA or the NFL or whatever the case is. Would we have a completely different view on this and look at it as like it's racism? You know what I'm saying? Because it's a black person that's trying to do it.
Hold on. All right. So let me get it right. It's a black woman.
A black man that transitioned. I mean, it could be either way.
A black man who's transitioned from woman.
Black man that has transitioned to a woman. Right.
Trying to go into a field of men.
Right. Where there's only men.
How would they know her condition?
Well, that's a part of it though. That's
Right.
that's a part
the
of
box
it.
will be checked as female.
Right, that's a part of it.
No,
right?
she's
But
not.
see-
'Cause is
but
she checking?
Hang on, but that's
Well,
why
that's
but
on
thi-
the application.
But this is why I give the example, because when we
gender.
talk about the African runner, I'm pretty sure that she checked as the one that
Female.
they recognize as, and then later they found that it was a man, right? So this is what I'm saying. So now you have a black male that is transitioning into a black female, right? They're checking all the boxes of female. 10 years into whatever said career is, boxing, football, whatever, right? Whereas predominantly men or the men sector of that field, 10 years later, they find this person has XY. And then they trying to go put asterisks on awards and championships and removing their name from this. And, oh, they were eligible for the Hall of Fame this year. It's not going to happen. Sounds like probably Black Lives Matter get involved. Sounds like the LGBTQ plus community. Did I get it right? We'll get involved. But the alphabets, I'm sorry. So forgive me. But you know what I'm saying? So, bruh, so like same thing. But we might look at it. See, even your demeanor calm down because you kind of thinking about it. I'm thinking like, yo, well, you know,
No,
it's a
I'm just
black
listening
person.
to you.
But it's a black person though that's doing it.
It doesn't matter what the race of that person is.
But I'm saying, what do you think about the society, how they would view that? I said in the beginning, the black community. How do you think the black community would view that?
In the beginning, it's going to be hell.
But why?
Because we
Change.
only
Change
know.
is hard.
Look, check this out. Everything that we know was taught by white people.
Right.
And we believe that they told us the truth.
Right.
So when somebody changes it up, he's like, oh no.
Okay, so now, let me finish my example. Now, LeBron James wins the championship this year and decides he's done because of COVID. He's finished. He's out of it, right? And then we find out that LeBron James is really a woman. Now what?
That'd be dope.
Now what? You see what I'm saying? Are we asterisking?
All the men got beat by a woman.
But you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now flipping your whole, that's why I said I'm flipping the whole example. Now we flipping it. Now a woman has come to the NBA and beat everybody ass. Mm-hmm. Is it fair? I'm done. That's a mic drop.
Because that's the narrative that men control.
That's a mic drop.
I never thought about it like that.
That's a mic drop, brother. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So is it fair? You're only saying, and I'm not saying you, but in general, you're only saying that it's not fair because it looks like it's going to be dominant towards the other way. But they can be dominant too. Women kick ass, bro.
I know this.
Women kick ass.
So don't sit there and act like I don't see
I didn't say you didn't, but I'm making my statement.
Okay.
Women kick ass. And if we find out in 2022 when LeBron James decided to retire because Anthony Davis wants to go back to the Pelicans because he misses the gumbo, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. When we find out in 2022 he retires and he goes and sits with Gayle King or Oprah on the what they call it, what's the channel, the whatever Oprah's channel is, or he does an HBO Max Plus whatever, Harpo, that's her network.
The O
network.
Right,
he goes and sit with her and he does an exit interview, and he's just like, I want to let everybody know I'm not coming out. I guess I'm coming in. Is that the reverse? I just want to let everybody know that I was born a woman.
That'd be so dope.
Can you imagine?
Oh my gosh.
Would that be fair?